I'm wearing my millennial colors today. I'm wearing the brightest, most shocking color that I can think of. Since we're dedicating this show to millennials, Derick Tan is founder of Timing and You, and that's a program that he's developed as an active trader and investor in stocks and commodities and currencies and bonds and property markets. He's been in it since 1999, and he's come up with a very special sort of risk index. I understand it's proprietary, three-dimensional relative risk index, perhaps the first of its kind in the world, that combines cyclical analysis and technical analysis, all with the aim of improving your chances of coming out on top in different investment asset classes. And we always ask him to, explain the fundamentals of understanding the price charts through cycle analysis with us on this program. So that's what we're going to do today as well. Good morning, Derick. How are you?
Good morning, Michelle. It's great to be up on Money FM again to share my view about the market, especially the US stock market. Yes.
Yes, very exciting to have you on because you are here to share with us a couple of stock charts. And
Yes.
I've curated them so that they are charts that would appeal to a millennial thinking of some kind of virtual world play. And then I do
Uh,
have one play that is linked to the real world. You hear about Biden's infrastructure bill all the time. So if you wanted to invest in infrastructure that was set to
yes.
benefit, how would you do that? And what does the stock chart look like for one of these plays? So that's what we're going to do today with Derick. But first up, since this show is for millennials, as you can see, I'm in my millennial shocking pink. Uh, if you had to explain cycle analysis very simply to a millennial, what would you say, Derick?
Okay. So I hope you guys are looking at my slides, which is showing what is cycle analysis in simple terms. Cycle analysis is actually a field of study in analyzing recurring pattern or
Mm,
repetition to forecast timing and turning point of different investment asset classes. It's something different from probably a lot of people out there. They may know technical analysis, whereby you look at price chart, that means once you break resistance, we will enter to buy. When you break support, we will exit. That is looking at price chart. Then there's another school of thought, which is fundamental analysis, value investing, whereby they look at probably the intrinsic value of a stock or a company. Then they will try to buy when there's a margin of safety. All right, but cycle analysis is something different because I actually went to US and Europe to learn about this for analysis, and I bring it back to actually this region. I'm probably not the only one, but one of the very few who talk about cycle analysis in this region. So with cycle analysis, it tells us about time. So when we are able to combine the price component that we see in be it fundamental or technical analysis, now when we are able to combine time with price, yes, that will actually increase our probability of winning, be it in trading or investment in any financial asset classes. I mean, it gives us another edge over a lot of traders or investors out there who only perform PA or FA. So this is
mm.
basically what cycle analysis is about. Yes.
Okay, sorry for the very millennial question, but I'm going to put myself in the head of a millennial thinking, when I look at Derick's charts, am I looking at time on the X or Y axis and price on the next axis, X and Y axis? What am I
Okay.
exactly looking at when I look at the chart?
For example, if we look at this chart of VOO, which is Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, this is a price chart. That's why there is a y-axis. Can you see there's a y-axis showing the price?
Mhm.
All right. So, but for mine, because I have this thing called the cycle chart, this is a
Mm.
cycle chart. It does not have a y-axis. It only has x-axis. Also, so that's why
Wow.
when we later on, you guys will see is when I combine so-called technical analysis, which shows the price, I combine with cycle analysis, which shows the timing, turning point. All right. So this will give us a so-called a better three-dimensional look, probably at a particular stock or ETF. That's what I meant. All right.
So interesting. Thank you very much for explaining to us what we're seeing. So, when you go through the charts and you're seeing the patterns, that's when you're applying the overlay of the cycle analysis
Yes.
charts to
Correct.
the price charts and coming up with your
Correct.
analysis. All right.
Very good. Yes.
Again, since this is for the millennials listening in, what are a couple of key lessons that you, Derick, would share with your younger self if you could teleport back in time?
Oh yeah, I hope someone can share whatever I'm going to share, probably in my 20s, so that I don't need to go through the try and error myself. I think one of the very important lesson that I learned is every one of us, we have opportunity in our lifetime, about 2 to 3 times life-changing opportunity in our lifetime, that could change our life totally. All right. So the last one, if you look at this table, the last one actually was in 2007 to till 2009, whereby we have the so-called the subprime crisis. All right. I was lucky. I was able to make my first pot of gold then. All right. So to me,
Oh,
the this current period, which is from 2017 till next year, is another, I would say, a period of wealth transfer. All right. So my take is don't miss this chance. That's why we are seeing right now, US stock market breaking new high, cryptocurrency going up as well. Even commodities, they are going up. So those who are able to capture this opportunity ride the trend up. But unfortunately, I personally think that based because I do cycle analysis, I do think that next year will not be a good year. Also, we
mm-hmm.
probably will see something bad happening, be it in crypto or stock market, or even a
Mm.
big correction in commodity. But don't worry, even there's a down market, we can still do this form of so-called short selling to make money from a down market. So once the down market is over, when the new bull market happen again, all right, it's cycle. After bull is bear, after bear is bull. We will then go in at the tail end of a bear market or early bull market. We will go and buy all the blue chip, which will be on sale then. Also, my
Right.
biggest lesson is make use of a cycle. All right, I was lucky. I make use of the last big cycle. I made my first pot of gold. Now, currently, is the to me is another big one. So for all the millennials out there, make use
Mm.
of this opportunity. We are almost at the tail end of this bull market. Next year, probably we may be looking at a bear market. Then it will after the bear market will be the beginning of a new bull market. So this could be 2 or 3 times in our lifetime. No? So my take to you guys is don't miss this chance. Or if you miss this, the next one probably will be between 2027 to 2032, another 10 more years. So if you
Wow.
can grab this opportunity, all right, which I've seen some of my millennial friends or even Generation Z friends, they have become millionaire or multi-millionaire by participating in, for example, crypto or even the
Mm.
stock in the stock market. It is very
Mm.
possible because I've seen it with my own eyes. All right.
Well, thank you for such an inspiring message early in the morning to understand that there is opportunity in the stock market as you see it through cycle analysis. I always call Derick Yoda when we text each other because he'll tell
Ah,
me after the show, "Hey, Michelle, remember we talked about this? Look, it panned out." And I'll say, "Yeah, Yoda, you got it right." So thanks for sharing
well,
your lessons with us, lessons you'd share with your younger self. Now, let's get through some of the stock charts. And for those of you listening at home, you're probably wondering, Michelle, this is radio. I can't see the stock charts. Well, the thing is,
mm,
we've got Derick joining us on StreamYard, our program, and we will be putting up this video so that you can see all of the charts that Derick has prepared for us on our YouTube channel, Money FM's YouTube channel, a little later on. Okay, so you will be able to see the charts. I want to start with the Vanguard S&P 500. Now, why this particular ETF? Let me explain.
yes.
Last week, we had a millionaire join us, originally from the US, Kentucky, and now she lives in Texas. And she shared her very inspiring story of being
Mm,
able to invest her way banking on just one stock,
mm,
and that was this one, the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. Of course, she did this many years ago, but she saw, starting with $100 a month, by the way, which she, of course, added to a lot more as she, bought more properties, 10 rental properties in the States. But eventually, it was this ETF that led to her being able to move from $5 haircuts as a hairdresser to becoming a self-made millionaire. So, what do
wow.
you see when you look at the Vanguard S&P 5, right? Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, Derick.
All right. So this is a 10-year view of Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, or the symbol is actually VOO. Wow, look at it. It has been riding, I mean, up and up and up. because it actually tracks the S&P 500 index. All right, so it's near to an all-time high. So as we close in, this is a closing view of VOO. So my take is this. Uh, uh, there's actually a resistance here at the red circle, which is at around 432.76. All right. So once this so-called 432.76, where the red circle is, this resistance is taken out, or we may have a chance to see VOO go higher together with the S&P 500. So how high probably it may go is, if you look earlier, there's actually a base built over here. So based on the base that's been built, I take the depth of the base, all right, I add on to the resistance. Also, the price objective we may be looking at will be about 440.18, all right, provided that this 432.76 can be taken out, all right. On the other hand, I discovered my own proprietary. There's a certain magical number in the financial market. One of it is actually 3.5. Also, I take the low of this base. I label this as A, B, C. So I take B minus A times my DD7 golden number of 3.5 plus, then I plus C is about 446.07. It's quite close to the price objective based on the depth of this base over here. All right, but all this scenario will only play out. Please take note, if this red circle resistance of 432.76 resistance will be taken out, then how sure am I this know that this resistance will be taken out? This is something extra I want to share today. This is actually a cycle chart of down zone, or it represents the US stock market. Remember earlier I mentioned cycle analysis is about timing and turning point. So can you see there's a turning point here? And if it comes down, we are actually looking at a turning point probably around mid of December or early next year. Also, if you ask me, I do think that probably the US stock market may have some upside to go before probably we'll see a high in maybe December or early next year. And this high probably may be the end of this 12-year US bull market before we enter into 2022. And that's where I see probably a bear market is coming. Also, do take note of this.
Thanks for sharing the extra with us, Derick. If we look at VOO, it is currently trading $429.77.
Yes.
So thanks very much. Now, let's move on to something I think is interesting when people hear about what we're looking at today is a couple of plays into the metaverse, because I thought that's what young people are interested in. But before we get there, and I hear you say, Michelle, what if I wanted to invest in the real world? What are my options? So there is an ETF called the PAVE ETF, also known as the Global ex-US Infrastructure Development. And that invests in companies that stand to benefit from the sort of influx, funds going into infrastructure. We know there's a lot of political will into improving the infrastructure in the US. So what do you see when you look at the PAVE ETF?
Yeah, so this is actually Global ex-US Infrastructure Development ETF. The symbol is actually PAVE, PAVE. So this is, it was listed in the first quarter of 2017. Also, we can see that it has built a base, and after it broke up from the base, is going higher and higher and higher. Of course, recently with the announcement of the infrastructure bill by the Biden administration, it has been going higher. So now, this is a zoom-in view. So as we can see, for those who know how to read a chart pattern, there's something what we call an ascending triangle. So that means there's a horizontal line here. There's a so-called a higher low over here. So this is what we call an ascending triangle. It broke up, all right? So it went higher. Then recently it has a pullback. So now, the thing is we need to watch out is there's actually a resistance over here at 29.26. That's where the red circle is. So if later on, if this resistance of 29.26 can be taken out, or we potentially may see a PAVE going higher, probably towards 30.68. So how do I get this 30.68? What I do is I take the depth of the ascending triangle, all right, I add on to the resistance over here. So the resistance is about 27.52. I minus the low over here, which is 24.36. I then take the depth, I add on to the 27.52. That's how I got 30.68. Also, same thing. We probably may see PAVE going higher, probably towards 30.68 if this 29.26 resistance can be taken out. This can be a play for the infrastructure bill that probably Biden is signing or going to sign very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to turn to your charts on my biggest screen here so I can get a bigger view, Derick.
Yes.
PAVE ETF looking really good here.
Yes.
Since its inception, gaining some 73.9%. In terms of fund NAV, in the market price up 73.85%. So interesting to track PAVE ETF. Now, if we wanted to move from investing in companies that stand to benefit from a potential spend in infrastructure to the virtual world, I thought we'd look at Matterport because it's something that I talked about with listeners last week.
Ah,
Matterport is a 3D platform and it really allows you to turn a space into its digital twin, which is what the metaverse is all about, right? Sort of a
yes.
twin of our physical offices or what our physical world. So, how is Matterport's chart doing? Is it pretty
All right.
young?
Okay, so this is a chart of Matterport. The symbol is actually MTTR. So
Mm-hmm.
as we can see, last night it has a big breakout, all right, with very high volume. This is a good sign. Also, if you look closer, there's actually a very classic chart pattern, what I call a cut with handle. Or it's my favorite chart pattern. Frankly, I make a lot of money out of it. So how does it look like? So this is actually, you got to have a bit of imagination. So this is actually a cut,
Okay.
all right. So
Yeah.
this is a handle. You just think
Mm-hmm.
of it like the cross-sectional view of a cup. You hold on to a cup. All right. So this is
Mm-hmm.
a cup. So then once it hit this resistance, it pulled back to form a handle. And last night was a good breakout. All right, with very high volume. All right. So unfortunately, the thing is, if we look zoom out, it is now near to this high over here, which is early. I mean, this earlier this year February high, which is around 28 US dollar. So it's close to that resistance. All right, so probably you'll face some resistance over there at around 28. Probably you'll take a little bit of break, all right, or you just bash through. All right, but to me, it probably will take a little bit of break over here because it's hitting a resistance around 28. But if
Yeah.
it can clear this 28 resistance level, which
Mm-hmm.
is where the red circle is, or we
Mm-hmm.
technically and potentially may see MTTR go higher towards 31.93. So how did I get this 31.93? I take the resistance over here, which is 24.73 of the cup, minus
Mm-hmm.
the bottom of the cup, which is 17.53, the depth of the cup. I add on to the resistance of 24.73. This is how I got 31.93. Also, same thing, we will need MTTR to take out this $28 resistance, which is the red circle is, then we potentially may see it goes to the price objective of this cup with handle, which is around 31.93. Yes.
All right, impressive price action from Matterport. We've seen tremendous interest into this metaverse play. Matterport focuses on indexing the built world. As I said, building a digital twin of our world. And so it
Yes.
operates 3D online spaces, currently trading at $27.12 last done, up
Yes.
22%,
Wow.
22.33. Yeah. So thanks for being excited as I am about getting into this
Yeah.
particular
A
chart.
lot of people
Now,
thought Facebook is the only metaverse play because Mark Zuckerberg announced about changing the name. Actually, it's more than that. Example, we have
yeah,
Metaport. We have a lot of other stock that is a metaverse play as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We could do a whole other show on that.
Yeah.
Right now, I want to talk about NVIDIA because if you think about
Yes.
the virtual world, you need processing power. And a lot
Yes.
of that depends, of course, on those semiconductor chips. So, NVIDIA, if you've just joined us, we're looking at the stock charts of a couple of different stocks today, for today. And we're ending off with NVIDIA, American multinational tech company based in Santa Clara. And basically, they design graphics processing units for gaming and professional markets. And people are always asking, when it comes to semiconductor stocks, should I go with NVIDIA? Should I go with AMD? Well, let's just focus on NVIDIA. What do you see?
All right. So this is a 10-year view of NVDA, NVIDIA. So look at it. It's such a beautiful chart. So
Beautiful.
after it has broken out of this base is up, 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 and away. So this that's why if you talk about looking at technical analysis, this kind of base is what we call a launch pad. So can you see once it breakout of this launch pad is
Mm.
wow all the way up. All right, so now let's
Yeah.
take a closer zooming view about Nivea. All right, so I've drawn some so-called channel lines. All right, so the red color is actually the resistance line, the
Yep.
blue color is actually the support line. So what I'm seeing for Nivea right now is this: there's actually a resistance at this red circle here, which is 323.10, which is the recent high that it achieved. Then it has a
Okay.
pullback recently. Also, what I do see is this: we need Nivea to clear this resistance, which is where the red circle is of 323.1. Once it can clear that, I do think that Nivea probably can go a bit higher. The next price objective I'm looking at is probably 340 or higher. All right, but let's be a bit conservative. If 323.10, where the red color resistance line can be taken out, or we
Mm.
probably may see Nivea going higher towards 340. But it's a fantastic stock. It's my favorite stock, in fact. And I've been getting in and out trading this stock. Just look at the chart. It's such a beautiful chart. All right.
It is a beauty, that one. Oh my goodness. NVIDIA currently trading at $300.25. So even with the global semiconductor shortage, it's been going up and up, yeah?
Yes, correct. So
Pretty much.
fantastic. This is probably
Fantastic.
something we can look into. All right, Nivea.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jerry. We're fresh out of time. Today, we've been looking at NVIDIA, Matterport, PAVE ETF, Vanguard S&P 500, a whole mix of stocks to anticipate, playing either in the real world, in the virtual world, and to check up on what one of my guests said she built her millions on. Derick, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Michelle. It's very great to share some of my experience with a lot of millennials out there. So hopefully next month when I'm back, we can share more, be it any interesting sector that we will look at, or maybe even metaverse again. All right.
Oh, fabulous, Derick. That would be very popular. I appreciate it. Derick Tan is founder of the Timing and You program, joining me live in Money and Me.
Money FM 89.3.